Hi everybody, Dan Illman here taking a look at race number 8 at Woodbine on Saturday. It's the Grade 3 Selene Stakes. Let's take a peek at the field. 3-year-old fillies going 1 mile and a 16th on the Tapeta surface, and some pretty talented fillies at that. The number 1, Owlette, has won 4 of 6 starts and has never been out of the exacta. She's got big early speed, and Wesley Ward's going to take the blinkers off to try to get her to relax a little bit. Marvelieu on the outside, another horse that's been a beacon of consistency ever since Lasix has been added. She's a head and a neck away from being undefeated in her last 4 races. She might be able to benefit if the pace is hot up front, and that's how Timeform US sees it as we take a look at the pace projector. Stretch Out Sprinter, number 3, Living in the 6, expected to be part of the pace. The number 6, 260, Stretch Out Sprinter, expected to be part of the pace, and the aforementioned Owlette, Stretch Out Sprinter. Even with the blinkers off, you have to think that Owlette is going to be aggressively ridden coming out of the gate, and let's watch her most recent race. It's the Star Shoot. It's her first start of the year, her first start of a long layoff. She went right to the top, and she was cooking. She clicked off a half in 44-3, and she keeps right on going. This field was solid. She beat 2 next out winners. Now, they've tried 2 turns with her once before. Last year in the South Ocean Stakes, she was 2-5. She showed big speed, but she just went too fast for her own good, and she was run down late. So Wesley Ward's going to take the blinkers off, hoping that maybe he can get Owlette to relax just a bit. I have concerns at a short price about whether Owlette truly wants this distance. And if that red bar Timeform US pace scenario is correct, if the pace is fast, it could work against her. I might try to beat her at a short price. The 2 is Saratoga Vision. She's tough to like. She's an 11-race maiden. She just finished off the board against maidens, going 7 furlongs on the turf. The 3rd-place finisher from that race came back to run second in a maiden optional claimer with only a 62 Beyer speed figure. This filly has a couple of sprint races. Now she's going to stretch out in her 3rd start of the year. She might be racing herself back into shape, and she was stakes placed last year as a maiden sprinting on the turf. They have put her in some tough spots, but I think there's limited upside, and even with a fast pace up front, this might be too tall of an ask from a class perspective. The 3 is Living in the 6, stretching out off this win on June the 27th. Let's watch Living in the 6's turf debut, going 6 furlongs. She showed good speed from the start to press the pace. She gets away from the field at the end. She earns a rock-solid 76 Beyer speed figure. She's going to show some speed in here. Now, I'm not sure she's as fast as Owlette, and now she's going to have to be chasing a fast horse in a fast-paced race around 2 turns for the first time. I think from a pedigree standpoint, she can do it, and I think she'll have no problem with the synthetic. If you go back and formulate her and watch her career debut on June the 6th on synthetic, she did not have a very good trip in that race. Down inside, blocked behind a wall of horses. Living in the 6 is better than that race indicated. She showed that in her turf race, and I think she'll run okay at a decent price, but she's going to have to overcome pace pressure. The 4 is Diamond Sparkles, and let's watch her most recent start from Mark Casse. It was her first race back at Woodbine after wintering at Tampa Bay Downs, and she finishes 2nd behind a runaway winner. She was just outrun in the early portion of this race. She didn't break very well. She kind of got pinched at the start, and she just had too much to do in the lane. She finished 2nd. All in all, a pretty good effort going 7 furlongs off a long layoff. She has a lovely pedigree, geared towards turf, but that synthetic race last time out was just fine, a career best Beyer speed figure, and if Diamond Sparkles gets pace, and she should get pace in this race, I think she's going to come running late at what might be a decent price. Casse also has the 5, American Tap, and let's watch American Tap's most recent race, going 6 furlongs on the 4th of July. I like this performance. She was near the back of the pack early, she angles 3 wide on the turn, and she's going to be grinding out. She can't get to this long shot winner, and I guess you can be disappointed that she didn't reel in this long shot, but the long shot on the lead did get away and wire this field, and maybe 6 furlongs is going to wind up being a little bit short for American Tap. I like her stretching out. She really galloped out well after this race. To me, that's a good indicator that she'll handle the extra distance, and her broodmare sire, Quiet American, should add a lot of stamina to American Tap's pedigree. It is her 4th start of the year. I think she should be fit for this, and she's going to get some pace. 7-2 on the morning line for American Tap, who I feel is a good contender at a square price. 260 is the number 6, and 260 is going to show speed. her third start of the form cycle. Outsprinted to the early lead last time out by Owlette in the Star Shoot. She just couldn't finish with that rival, and they've tried 2 turns a couple of times with 260, and they've succeeded. 260 is a stakes winner at Gulfstream Park going 2 turns. Now, in that race, the My Dear Girl division of the Florida Stallion Stakes last year, she was able to get to an easy lead over a speed-favoring track. No easy leads for 260 here, and she has to prove that she can sit just off of the pace. Either that or Emma Jane Wilson's going to have to really put the pedal to the metal to get 260 out onto the lead and outsprint a fast horse like Owlette. I just don't like the dynamics of this race as it pertains to 260. Here's Merveilleux's most recent performance. Nice allowance when going the mile in a 16th. We know she can get this distance. She got right up close to the pace as the favorite, and this is just a rock-solid performance for her first start in 6.5 months. This filly showed a lot of ability last year. Multiple stakes placed. The distance is going to be no problem, and there's going to be a good amount of pace to set up Merveilleux. A lot of upside potential for this filly, and in some ways, because of the race dynamics and because of her affinity for this distance, she is the horse to beat. We take a look at my top selections for the Grade 3 Selene. I'm going to try to get American Tap, the number 5, into the winner's circle here. I know she's stretching out for the first time. She's never raced past 6.5 furlongs, and sometimes these closing sprinters, they're a bit of a mirage when they stretch out for the first time. But I do like the way she's been grinding it out in the stretch of her sprints, and in a fast-paced route race, she might be able to pick up some pieces. American Tap will be my top selection over the 2 favorites, Owlette and Merveilleux, in the Grade 3 Selene Stakes, the second of 2 graded races at Woodbine on Saturday. The Selene has an approximate post of 4:53 Eastern. Best of luck.